Gomez and Company welcome former SU quarterback Eric Dungey thanks to Liverpool Pool and Spa on the flagship station of SU football, TK99 and TK105.
Live from Oregon, Eric, how are you? Good morning. What's happening?
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How was your week there? Everything? We didn't ask you last week, but I know you're able to drive now, and everything's healing up properly, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I feel good. Started physical therapy here on Monday, and basically able to do most of the things besides work out entirely. So hopefully after a week or two of physical therapy, I'll be good to go. But other than that, I'm feeling really good. So happy about the progress.
You know, we just heard some Van Halen there coming into your segment here, and sometimes you hear heavy metal and rock and roll, as teams are coming out onto the field, and sometimes it's whatever, it's hip hop, it's rap. What was your go-to when you were playing? Was there a song or an album or a band that you listened to that got you where you needed to be?
You know what? It was just really whatever was playing. I think when we were working out and everything else, it was always hip hop. So I figured that's kind of what triggers in my brain for getting pumped up from anything else. But other than that, it doesn't take a lot to get you pumped up for a game when you're going out there. You got the pregame jitters and the butterflies. And I think that's enough right there to get it done regardless of what's playing. So I think that was the unique thing about college football is the way each school had their own, mantra to get you pumped up. And I remember we had a big EDM thing with the kickoff, and it's just one of those memories that you'll never forget. But it's cool that Coach Brown has his own thing, and I think that's what makes college football unique there.
He told us a week or so ago, one of his things on Fridays at the office, getting ready for Saturday's games, he and his coaching staff listen to Frank Sinatra. And they all sing My Way. They take turns with the verses.
That's pretty funny, but I don't blame it because I would actually listen to a lot of soothing music before the games. I think a lot of guys would try to get pumped up, and for Coach Brown and for the decision makers, Kyle McCord, I'm not sure what he does, but for me it was always listening to something soothing, just to kind of relax the mind and understand, hey, just play calm, play poised, and understand you got to make the decisions. You're not running around on defense and trying to hit everybody. So those guys were always listening to the heavy metal. I remember Ryan Guthrie was a big heavy metal guy, or the hardcore rap that people needed to get going. So that's pretty unique and funny about Frank Sinatra, but I totally understand.
Back one more question along those lines, but back when you were playing, who on the team at the time had the worst taste in music?
Worst taste in music. I mean, you know what? I don't know. It was. Might have been Brisley. Brisley's team, he was always a funny guy, but he would always put some music on I've never heard before. But just the way he got hyped up about it, I couldn't help but laugh. And again, everyone's got their own little pregame call and pregame things that they do. So it's just fun, and it's really interesting to see everybody come together as one, whatever pregame ritual you have.
Last night at the nighttime Coach Fran Brown show, he said what we call it all figured out anyway, officially, but that Will Nixon is done for the year, so he won't be available for the team till hopefully spring practice, and he can work on that. But it's football, it's next man up, and a big opponent on the road tomorrow at NC State. And that's always been a tough place to play for the Orange.
Yeah, no, NC State is a very tough place to play. And, I think we're looking at the team. They got a true freshman quarterback, or they have a freshman quarterback, C.J. Bailey, 6'6", 190 pounds, very skinny, not a big runner. His arm is obviously, he's got a very strong arm, but he makes some errant decisions. So for Syracuse, they just have to really get pressure on him. I think that's the biggest thing. Get pressure on him, get him uncomfortable, hit her 2 or 3 times to start the game early to let that presence known. And offensively, I mean, NC State's defense has been, known to give up some points and some yards. So expected another big game out of Kyle McCord here. And you just have to make sure that you come out swinging to start, take the life out of that crowd, because if you let that NC State crowd in it, it's going to be tough. And then other than that, just playing smart. NC State's always known for, saying one or two things after the play or doing one or two things just to try to elicit a response out of you. So you got to keep your cool head, not get those 15-yard penalties. I just remember when we were playing, there was always something going on. That's how I remember NC State. They were very chippy, and they're going to get in your head, and they're going to talk a lot of smack and, play that mental warfare. And then sometimes do things that you're like, how is this not getting called? But, that's it's hometown cooking at that point. So I think for Syracuse, it's just starting off strong and keeping your head poised throughout the whole game just to make sure that you're focused on the task at hand and not letting the antics and other things get involved to deter you from that process.
What's an example, Eric, of something that a guy said to you during a game like arable, or was it like just horrible stuff or just stupid stuff?
I probably can't say it over the air, but I mean, it's just, whether it be stuff about your family or, maybe about your whatever you would think. But yeah, I probably can't say it on the air there, but I think for me, it was just after the play, maybe just staying on you a second or two longer, reaching in your face mask, or, maybe just putting a little too much pressure on, places where you're like, what are you guys doing? So I think that's just, they try to get in your head. And for me, it was always just like, try to stay calm, try to stay cool, but I always just got shocked that some of the things they did not get called or flagged. But again, you got to understand you're going on the road, and honestly, that's what makes it fun. I love playing in those hostile environments, got you pumped up, and those are some of the most fun games and the games that really that you remember. And I think it's going to be another hard hitting game here. You can know that NC State's going to bring some guys, and that's really what they're known for. So we got to make sure that everybody's staying locked in and just eliminate the mental errors. And I think Syracuse will be fine.
And at 3-3 for the Wolfpack, that is maybe underperforming some of the preseason expectations. But last night, again, Coach Fran and Coach Elijah Robinson were on with our stream chat, and both saying the same thing. You can't look at the record. It was like 3-3. I mean, it's college football, a couple plays either way, and that whole record is entirely different. So they're expecting a war.
Oh, definitely. And I think the thing about Coach Bradley does a good job because he gets the guys going. I mean, they come back at UNLV, on the road. Playing on the road in college is tough, especially with a new team, new head coach, because you don't know how your guys are going to respond, especially the younger guys. It is a whole different world there. So UNLV, I mean, it was pretty packed there. It was just the lower bowl, but NC State, 3-3 still, they still travel well. I mean, you can bet that crowd in that stadium is going to be fired up. So they just have to make sure that they're calm, they're poised, they're ready to go. But the record never can tell you much. I think we had a lot of games where we might have been 4-4. 2-3, and we upset some big teams there. So every game's a new week. So you got to have it's like a blank canvas, and you never know what's going to happen. And as a freshman quarterback, you're going to make a lot of strides. And I think that's the one thing about CJ Bailey is he came in. You could definitely see his inexperience show, and then he's gotten better and better each week, especially since Grace McCall has taken some hits and been out. So he's going to continue to get better, but we just got to hope that Syracuse is in the game where he really decides to turn it on and show what he can do.
Eric, great stuff as always. Have a great weekend, and it's the 8 p.m. kick here in the East, so it's a nice early game for you on the West Coast. 5 p.m. kickoff for you, so you can watch the game. And then, what would you do after the game? Hang out, or go out, or just sit and watch some more football?
Usually just sit, watch more football, take an ice bath, and get the body all healed up. I think that's the most interesting thing. This is the best time of the year. We got baseball, football, hockey. We got everything going on. So you're not short on entertainment, and that always helped when you were traveling, especially. You spent a lot of time in the bus and traveling and going everywhere. So having your phone, being able to watch games, and being able to watch film.
Great weekend.